Okay, we've got a lot to talk about with UFOs today, so get in here. This is Jack with Cosmic Row to talk about UFOs and the paranormal. Please hit like and subscribe and let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Yeah, to start with, what's going on with the drone incursions over the UK? Well, Chris Sharp says the UK Ministry of Defence is in crisis mode dealing with these intrusions. Also today, I asked USAF if they had brought down any of the drones. The response was that they have no further updates. Additional U.S. bases in the U.K. now protected by restricted airspace as counter-drone operation continues. So are they drones or are they drones? He also says, I can't highlight this enough. If drones or UAP are above the bases again, this makes it over 10 nights of incursions over the most sensitive airspace in the UK. The message is clear. The UK and the US are powerless for now and do not control the airspace. That's crazy. If the US and UK authorities have identified a state actor responsible for these incursions, would such information be made public? Really, yeah, would they want to let us know, right? Meanwhile, the average Chris says the breaking UFOs at RAF Lakenheath confirmed to be drones by live streamer. However, he's only talking about one specific incident, the one that I shared with you before of the triangular looking craft that some people were thinking might be a TR-3B. You can see these three lights here. Well, the gentleman that posted that video, Bigsy, says, he appreciates the credit. It was a cold night. It was interesting that it wasn't flashing, but when he took the video, he was hearing propeller noises. So it's likely that that triangular looking thing was actually just a drone. But that doesn't seem to be all that's going on there. As Think Tank says, U.S. Air Force Office of Special Investigations have been in the Suffolk area and have spoken to local people about what they have seen. Now, those must be some magical drones. The BBC has also seen evidence that agents from the U.S. Air Force Office of Special Investigations, the men in black, have been in the Suffolk area and have spoken to local people about what they have seen. Roger Smith, a Suffolk-based military aviation enthusiast, told the BBC that he believed the U.S. Air Force pilots have reverted to more secure communication methods in recent days. So yeah, I'm still thinking we're looking at a likely mix of actual drones operated by somebody and a more anomalous craft. Who knows what the heck is going on, but people do seem to be seeing anomalous vehicles in that area that cannot be explained by drones. However, we have seen evidence for actual drones, like Bigsy saying when he took that video that he was hearing propeller noises. So what's going on there? Is it a mix of things? Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Meanwhile, remember the Manchester sphere, the object that touched down at the Manchester airport in June? Well, we now have additional footage of it showing that it wasn't a stationary object just placed there. It was actually in motion. We have these two frames. We only have two frames, unfortunately, but they do show this object in motion. So I hope this is part of a larger video or more photos at least, so we can get more footage of this incredible incident where this anomalous object, definitely not a Russian drone of any sort that I've ever heard of, setting down publicly at an airport. Meanwhile, we have now officially entered the week of the Clif High prediction. That's right, Clif High predicted that this week, on December 3rd specifically, but I imagine there might be some wiggle room there with these predictions, that we're going to enter sci-fi world. Clif High's predictions, coupled with an amazing remote viewing of his predictions, indicate there might be some sort of UFO battle where there's jets, shooting at UFOs, and there might be two different factions of UFOs. Maybe one of those factions is ours. And after that time, maybe that will be the paradigm shifting event, or something else will be the paradigm shifting event. and then we will enter, as Clif calls it, sci-fi world. Now, is that the ascension that a lot of people, think is going to happen? The age of Aquarius, the shift, whatever you want to call it, or is that Project Bluebeam? Is that when that's going to kick into gear? When the establishment rears its ugly head and says, not so fast, we need to reassert our authority, and this is our last best chance to, get the global empire going or whatever, right? The secret government taking over the world. Is that what's going on? Or is it going to be an actual UFO event with, non-human actors? Or is it all a bunch of nothing? Will it turn out to ultimately be nothing at all? Well, obviously, stay tuned to find out. I'm going to be on the edge of my seat all week, especially on December 3rd. So let me know what you think is going to happen. Oh, and by the way, if you're not familiar with the Clif prediction, he made a prediction. He uses bots to scour the interwebs, and he makes predictions based on that. And it seems like the internet could be a reflection of the collective unconscious. And he is able to use his bots to glean information from the collective unconscious as revealed by the internet. And sometimes he can make predictions based on that. That's the idea anyway. I don't know what his ratio is of accurate predictions. Apparently he does have some accurate predictions. And if you guys are Clif aficionados, let me know what his ratio of success is in the comments below. But back in 2009, before Joe Rogan or Trump were a thing in the way they are today, he made the prediction based on what his bots were telling him, that 39 days after the Trump Joe Rogan interview, that we would begin entering sci-fi world. And coupled with the remote viewing of the UFO battle, all that kind of stuff, that's going to happen on December 3rd, if my math is right. So let me know if you think we are in for something world-changing happening this week based on Clif High's predictions, or at least that he was able to get this information about something truly incredible that might be about to happen. Also, is it too late for me to build a bunker? Meanwhile, Mick West and others believe that the Arizona UFO that was shared the other day has been debunked. And they make a really good case for it being debunked, that these lights are actually a house on a hill overlooking the city. And I'll share the info here. They do make a very compelling case that, when you see the overlay of where the hill is and where these lights are, it might line up pretty well. To me, it seems like the lights are higher than the house is, but it is a very compelling argument that this just could be a house up there on the hill. So I think that's a very good debunking of that. However, the person that posted that video in the first place, that saw this thing, isn't buying that. She says the objects were hovering for about 10 minutes, and then a helicopter came and they disappeared. Some flew and some vanished. So, according to her, it's not a house on a hill. These were moving objects that actually responded to the approach of a helicopter. Now, is she on the level or not? Pun intended, I guess, since we're talking about lights on a hill, potentially. Is she telling the truth? Did she make a video of lights on a hill and disingenuously put that out there as a UFO sighting? Or is she saying that no, or is she being, believable? Is she being honest when she says these objects were actually in motion? I wish we had video of that. If she had continued taking the video of these objects when that helicopter approached and they vanished. But sadly, we don't have that, or at least I haven't seen that. I would love to see that, so if you guys see it before I do, let me know. But there you go, there's the back and forth on the Arizona UFO. Speaking of cool UFO videos, this one was sent to me by Dr. Robert Shipe of Dragon UFO fame, of these UFOs, I don't know what else to call them, over Washington, D.C. Look at these objects. I don't know if you can see them. They're so small and so fast, but they are just darting across the sky over Washington, D.C. Very anomalous. Definitely not drones. I don't know what they are. Some of them are going slow, like that one. Some of them are going very fast. I think it's an amazing display of something, of these orbs. Let me know. Let's take that out again. You can see all those fast moving objects, and then you can see a couple of slower moving objects and a few in between. An incredible sighting. I mean, do you think this could have any natural explanation? Pollen in the air or something like that. The light reflecting weirdly off of bugs or birds or something like that. To me, this looks very credible, very anomalous, but very, very credible. So yeah, let me know what you guys think about that crazy sighting. And thank you, Robert, for sharing it with us. To me, it looks very credible and very, very anomalous. Meanwhile, David Haith continuing to break down the interview with Tim Burchett and Eric Burleson and Timothy Alberino reveals that Anna Paulina Luna actually had to debug a room where she and others were talking about UFOs. Congresswoman Anna Paulina Luna sabotaged a UFO bugging at Florida's Eglin Air Force Base, said Tim Burchett. Tim, Anna, and Congressman Matt Gaetz were visiting the base to investigate reports of 4 UFOs seen and photographed there by pilots. They sent us up to a room that was actually bugged, Tim Burchett says in that interview. Luna undid the microphone that was under the desk. Which is kind of crazy. Eventually, they were briefed by the pilots on what they saw. It was pretty spectacular. Wow, isn't that crazy? The military trying to bug sitting congresspeople. That's nuts, guys. Speaking of congressmen, Matt Laszlo caught up to Representative Glenn Grothman to ask him about the recent UFO hearing and what's next. What is your takeaway from the public November 13th UAP hearing in the House? Grothman says, well, I guess we're going to have to do some more work because they didn't tell us enough information. Well, I guess we'll have to threaten them with legislation. He means the executive branch, not the witnesses. Threaten the executive branch with legislation to get answers about UAP. So what will that look like? How do you threaten the executive branch with legislation when the executive branch has to sign off on the legislation? I don't know the answer to that, but if you do, let me know. Either way, a super intriguing and, to my mind, very positive development. That Congress people are actually thinking of ways to get answers, proactively, aggressively get answers, even from the executive branch. That's awesome. Another really positive development is that Danny Sheehan was sharing the holidays with RFK Jr. That's right, RFK Jr. is soon to be entering the new administration in the U.S., wielding a lot of influence and power. Well, Danny Sheehan was there. I don't know if you can see him around my big head, but there he is right there hanging out with RFK's family during the holidays. Hopefully spreading some UAP transparency vibes into the new administration. I think RFK Jr. is probably going to be an advocate for transparency. I hope that he gets aboard, the UFO train in a big way. That would be amazing. Of course, who knows? Maybe Danny's grandkids and RFK's grandkids play soccer together and they just know each other socially and it has nothing to do with UFOs. Hopefully Danny will speak to that in the days ahead. I can't wait to hear it. Either way, I'm choosing to be encouraged by this development. Speaking of Danny, he has some interesting things to say about Eric Davis and Admiral Wilson.
And this is, of course, one of the primary pieces of information, documents that needs to be evaluated. And obviously, Eric has been apparently contacted by Sean Kirkpatrick from the new office, this being set up. And he's going to be interviewing Eric. They're going to try to obviously interview Admiral Wilson. We're going to try to figure out what it is that happens in those interviews as best we can, which is probably going to be pretty good. So that I'll have to wait until we know. And then I have this entire additional step of it. Once we know, what is the process by means of which to get this out and to be revealed to people? Do you take it to 60 Minutes, and or do you take it to Frontline, or do you bring it to the New York Times? You call Leslie Kean. What do we do? But so we have to have an entire division at the UFO C3, with regard to the release of this information, how we go about doing this.
Okay, super interesting, and but I am, a little frustrated because people seem to be taking AARO seriously and actually interacting with them seriously. Eric Davis, Tom Wilson speaking to AARO. Why bother? After all, Dr. Kozlowski, the lovely Dr. Kozlowski, tried to debunk this footage as a Chinese paper lantern. The Aguadilla UFO. He tried to debunk the Go Fast and Aguadilla, and the one going in the volcano. So I don't think that Kozlowski is an honest actor, and I hate to see Eric Davis and Tom Wilson get in bed with him. But it is what it is. People are trying to give him a chance, but I think he's already proven himself. Maybe he will undo the damage that he's done, in my mind, in the days ahead with more honest reporting and transparency and investigation into UFOs. I would be shocked if that actually happens and Kozlowski proves to be non-lovely. But at the moment, it looks like he's another lovely Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick, and I'm not expecting anything better of AARO. But let me know what you guys think if you are more optimistic about the new direction AARO might be taking. Let me know what you think about it all in the comments below. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a big thumbs up. Smash the like button and the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of future videos. You don't want to miss a thing. Meanwhile, check out this crow asking how you're doing. Are you all right now?
I'm all right. You all right? You all right? I'm all right. You all right? You all right?
I'm doing just fine. How are you guys doing? Drop a like, subscribe, buy some merch in the merch store, become a channel member because channel members are all right. And there's plenty of other videos on the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. This is Jack with Cosmic Road signing out.